All right, Ken Iron Steer Trader back with a video showing you how to trade 8 hour nr7 ranges. So very simple. We have here an 8 hour chart. And the good news is you can still do this on the 4 hour as well, because I know you have to have the paid trading view plan to look at an 8 hour chart. But remember, 8 hours is just 4 hours stopped on top of each other. So yeah. Now, there's no way to predict how big a breakout is going to be for an NR7, but it can lead to some pretty huge moves. So this is how you do it. And if you want more information on this, you want to take a look at the deep study of the NR range and how that really works, and looking for continuations, etc. You can take a look at that in the description of this video. So here's the indicator that you will need. You'll go to indicators. You look for an indicator called NR4 and NR7 with breakouts by Lux Algo. You will put that on your chart. And then what you're going to want to do is go to the settings, and be sure the settings reflect the time frame that you're on. If it doesn't, it will skew the ranges. So you'll click 8 hours, but as you can see, 4 hours is on there too. You can trade any narrow range that's on here, but in any event, so doing 8 hours, and then we got 4 and 7. Now, all the narrow ranges, all the 4 and the 7 means is that after the last 4 8 hour candles, that'll be the narrowest range out of those 4. And if it's a 7, that means it's the narrowest range out of the previous 7 8 hour candles. The green boxes will be the NR4 patterns. The NR7s will be the yellow ones, right? The indicator will fire as well to let you know good entries. And all you do, you don't have a bias when you see a range. You simply just look for a breakout of the range in either direction, and that'll be your trade. So let's take a look at a few. As far as taking entries on the lower time frames, I typically just do 1 hour. But if you want to drop down to something lower, like 30-minute, 15-minute, 5 minute, it's up to you. So just back test and do what works for you. So first we have, I just had one and then I lost it, but we can do this one right here. Okay, so let me try to zoom in here and make this nice and large for you. So we have here an NR7 candle range, which is noted by this yellow box. All right here, this is what I'm looking at. So this is a candle that was at 9 a.m. on Friday. Now, we do not take the entry until price breaks out above the range. Okay, so if you're going long, if you're going short, it would. This is a short example right here where it broke out below the range and went down. So we're just looking for a piece of the move. We're not trying to trade this entire candle. We want to trade the breakout. So if we drop down to the 1 hour, the indicator is going to fire to let you know when your best entry will be. But since we're trading a 1 hour chart, I mean, if you want to drop down to a lower time frame, you could definitely do that. A few key levels that you can keep an eye on, because this one did give a little bit of a fake out before it did give its real move. Because as we can see, and this will happen to you, it is what it is. You may get whipsawed sometimes. This green arrow will fire to let you know, hey, price is broken out of the range. You're safe to go long. But then if we notice, for the next few hours, for 10 and 11, it came right back down to the bottom of the range, and then it broke right back out again. And this was the legitimate breakout right here. So as far as stop loss goes, you always want to enter, of course, when the candle breaks above the range, but you can put your stop loss either below the range low, which will be like down here somewhere. You can put it in the middle of the range. It'll be noted by this dotted line. Or you can also put it just below the candle that makes the breakout. So 3 options: below the range, below the candle that makes the breakout, or below the middle of the range. And sometimes they'll be synonymous. Since we're doing an 8 hour chart, I will drop down to a 30-minute and just see how that looks, since the time frame is a little smaller. So, okay, here we go. So on a 30-minute time frame, the entry would have been right here at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there. Okay, and then the candle that made the breakout was right here. So you can put your stop loss. Let me find that right there. Okay, so that's that. So let me see how large that is. This is a 56 pip stop loss. And let's just say you're doing a 1-to-1. So, if you want to base it on the stop loss, that's fine. So we'll do a long position. And I'm just, spitballing here. So we'll do like this. So if the stop loss is 56, like that, then our take profit will be 56, like that. Well, close enough. All right, yeah. So close enough. So something like that. All right, then you just let it play to see what happens. So if you're risking like 50 to make 50, or you're risking 100 to make 100, you would hit no problem. And obviously, it kept going a little bit, but it's up to you. I just threw a 1-to-1 on there just because you determine whatever you want your risk reward to be. I'm not here to police that. It's up to you. It's your business. But if you want to experiment with that, you definitely can. So let's go back to the 8 hour now, and we'll find a short example, and then that'll be it. And we'll go to another range as well. I'm sorry, not another range, but another pair. So let's go to, let's try, we just did a pound. So let's try Swiss yen. And what do we do? A short. We did a long, so now let's do a short. So here's a perfect one right here. So we'll do the replay right there. So we have a yellow nr7 range right here. Remember, we have no bias. We just want to see which side of the range is going to break first, the top or the bottom. If it breaks the top, we go long. If it breaks the bottom, we go short. So in this case, it broke the bottom, so we go short. So this was at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That was that 8 hour candle. I will go down to the 30-minute chart to see our best entry. Okay, so here's the range. Here is the candle right here that made the breakout. So if we want to base our 1-to-1 on the stop loss, let me see here. First off, though, let me tell you the entry. The entry would have been at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, right there. And let's just say, of course, setting a stop loss is easier in hindsight, but let's just say you want to put the stop loss above the candle that made the breakout. So we'll do a short. And our stop loss in this case would have been, let's just say, about 35 pips. So then we'll make our take profit, 35 pips. Did it hit? Yes, it went way above it. All right. So, but this would be a good way to just get some base hits here and there, something to just kind of toy with. So even if it's something small, you risk 20 to make 20. There you go. Maybe you got like some lunch or something for the day, nothing major. But if you got a bigger account and you want to risk 1,000 to make 1,000, this is $1,000 trade. It just depends on how much money you have. So, but that's it. That's 8 hour range breakouts. It's really not complicated. But remember, you're not trading without seeing a narrow range. All right. And we got 2 for 1 actually. Here's another narrow range right here. The indicator fired at 11:30 right there. So let's say we put our stop loss below the middle of the range. That would have been a 27 pip stop loss. So we'll do a 27 pip take profit. It hit no problem. Easy. Okay. And remember too, don't feel bad if you don't have the paid subscription. You could do this on a 4-hour chart too. I would say, since it's a lower time frame, maybe be more conservative with your profit targets and base it on the stop loss. And you should be able to stack up some decent 1-to-1s with this. But it's up to you. So I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, definitely remember to check out the links in the description for the deep study video on the narrow range nr7 and nr4s. This is an nr4 if it's green, and this is an nr7 if it's yellow. So, but they both really do the same thing. But I appreciate your time and attention. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.